You know, the interesting thing about this is we get a really unique look at the way Fieros were built. And whether you love Fiero or hate Fiero, and I want you to leave a comment and let me know. Like, I'm really curious to see generationally, you know, if you lived through the age of Fiero, what's your opinion? If you're younger and you just found out about the Fiero, what's your opinion? But it was, I think, whatever your opinion is, you can't argue the fact that this was a totally unique car way ahead of its time. It was revolutionary for GM. They actually developed an entire new way of putting a car together for this platform. I discovered this footage when I was actually researching for a film project on the birth of the F-body, the plant Norwood Assembly, where the F-body was built in Norwood, Ohio. That was where the first Camaro rolled off the line, first Firebird Trans Am rolled off the line. I came across this footage and realized that I don't think that some of this had ever been seen before. Some of the B-roll clips, there's a reel of B-roll, and I'm going to probably create two videos because it's basically two reels that I found. One looks to be an entire reel of B-roll. And if you don't know what B-roll is, basically what I'm doing right now would be considered A-roll, or whatever you're shooting that's sort of the feature, whether it's someone talking or some kind of action, that's considered the A-roll. And then the supporting footage that goes around that kind of gives it context, fills out the story, that's considered B-roll. One of these reels looks like it's B-roll from another Pontiac promotional film called Fiero, A Car is Born. That was a film that was narrated by Mike Joy, who was a NASCAR announcer, pretty big personality in the motorsports world. He narrated that whole film and kind of walked the viewer through what made the Fiero so unique. So if you haven't checked that out, I'll link to that in the description. You should definitely watch that film. But the cool thing is I found this reel of B-roll that I think is what they used for that film, but it shows more of the plant. It shows longer shots from those little B-roll sequences we see in that film. But it's really cool. It's just really neat to see things as they happen down the assembly line. You know, this would have been probably a filmmaking team that's going down and just shooting parts of the assembly line that they think might be useful as B-roll in this film. The other piece of film that I found, I don't think anyone has ever seen that publicly. I think that this second film is basically a follow-up to that first marketing film, Fiero, A Car is Born. But I think the second film is intended only for an internal audience at GM. We go through, we interview line workers, we get to see their reactions to the way things are being done at the Fiero plant, which, you know, just listen to the comments. It sounds pretty revolutionary. GM not only was trying new things with this car platform, but they were also trying new techniques with the workforce. And if you've seen any of my content before, if you've seen any of the film on this channel, if you've seen the trailer for the feature that I was mentioning about the birth of the F-body, which is where I found, you know, this footage while I was looking for footage for that, you know that I'm really interested in the dynamics behind automotive assembly, all the politics, all the engineering, all the assembly line configurations and trial and error that it takes to mass produce vehicles. That's really, really interesting to me. So hearing these comments from the people that are on the assembly line talking about the dynamics at the Fiero plant and what's working and how it's different than things that they had experienced before, I think is a really cool look just to see some of the things that you could say are pretty commonplace now in automotive plants in terms of team assembly approaches. That was real revolutionary stuff in the early 80s. You know, I thought it might be good just to put the footage kind of front and center, and I'll just kind of pop off in the background and narrate some of the things that we're going to see in the rest of this B-roll reel that again shows some pretty fascinating processes. We've been looking at some footage from the roll test, and something that was really unique about the Fiero platform is the fact that the roll test was actually done before the body panels were put on. So I found that pretty interesting. You know, typically the roll test was one of the very last things that was done in a typical auto plant because the car needed to be, you know, assembled before you could do the roll test. So with Fiero, you know, that under chassis, the complete structural chassis underneath the composite body panels, the car was structurally sound at that point. So my guess is they probably wanted to do that roll test before the panels were put on, just to minimize the possibility that anything would blemish the panels. My guess is probably those panels were put on toward the very, very end of the assembly process. So now we're looking at the paint shop, and a lot of this video actually does focus in the paint shop. You know, we saw some of the roll test, which we just talked about, but you know, here pretty much all the way through the end of this reel, we're seeing paint being sprayed on the body panels as they're coming through. So again, you know, some of the things that make the Fiero platform kind of unique is that you know, they were not sending full car bodies through for paint, especially for the, you know, for this type of application. There was a structurally complete chassis, as we talked about, underneath, which got painted black, presumably, probably in a different part of the plant, probably a separate paint shop. But what we're seeing here could be primer. I don't believe this is final paint, because I had looked it up. The Fiero plant actually used a paint shop that employed the Ransburg turbo bell system, which was kind of a revolutionary paint process. It had very high spinning RPM paint heads that would flame paint out in every direction. And that paint would be sort of electrostatically drawn to the body panels. And I did not see in that footage, it looked to me like there were stationary paint head nozzles, the actual nozzle at the end of these columns where the paint is coming out. I don't see anything spinning there. So this does not, to me, look like this would be final paint. You can also see where that composite panel in this shot is kind of dark, and then it's getting applied white over top. So I think the white underlayment was sort of standard for all of the colors, especially, you know, the lighter colors for sure. And you know, you can look at the sheen and it looks glossy, but I think that's just because it's wet paint. I think this is probably the primer stage of the body panels. But it's still fascinating. You know, you can see those paint heads are actually moving up and down to follow the contours of the body. We're, you know, staying about a foot off the body, it looks like, off of those body panels as the Fiero cage that's holding those body panels is moving underneath them. So it's pretty neat automation there. And you can also kind of see that fan pattern as they, you know, there's just enough overlap to make sure that everything is getting covered, but it's not too much overlap to see that we're wasting paint. So, you know, they really had all those processes dialed in for maximum efficiency. And it's kind of interesting, you know, that cage in the back we're seeing is actually a red cage. So this is interesting too, you know, you can see that paint nozzle up close, and it's interesting, all those fittings, you know, those hose fittings are orange. I suppose those were probably orange just to draw attention to them. So, you know, if you were walking down the line, it was high visibility, you could see it easily, I would imagine. But, you know, you can see the workers in the background. They actually have hand nozzles, presumably probably to touch up areas that needed it as it came down the line. So, you know, the automated paint heads were getting the bulk of the work, and then you've got the guy in the background here who is probably hitting, you know, kind of spot hitting pieces. And you can actually see somebody coming over and pointing that out to him, saying, you know, maybe add a little bit here. It looks like we need to touch up there. So, you know, kind of illustrates that team approach. You've got multiple eyes on the product as it's moving down the assembly line. And now you can see a little bit further, you know, down the line. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 6 or 7 body panel cages there as they're moving forward. But yeah, it's interesting. Some of those cages are white, some are red. Looks like they kind of had different colors there. It's pretty fascinating. It's also neat to see how they stacked the panels. You know, you could see what looked like probably the headlight covers that were stacked up where the windshield was, right underneath where those paint heads would come down. So that's pretty interesting. But now this is probably what we're seeing is these car body cages are moving through an opening, and my guess would be that that's probably going into a paint oven. So as it goes in there, it's probably like a high heat oven that's curing those panels, curing the paint on them and getting them ready for final paint. Presumably, if this was primer, it would come out dried from this oven, and then someone would come over and do a final sand, final polish to get it ready for that final paint stage. So this has really been interesting. I appreciate you letting me take you through this. I'd love to get your opinions on your feelings around the Fiero, what you think about it as a platform, whether you think it's innovative, whether you think it's really interesting. But, let me know what you think. I really want to create content that fills a niche that I think is underserved on YouTube, which is the story behind the cars, the way these cars are put together, the politics, the dynamics, everything that goes into creating a car from concept to production, I find incredibly fascinating. So if you've gotten something out of this, hit the like button, share it. It really, really helps the channel out. There's only a tiny percentage of people that actually watch these videos that are subscribed, so it doesn't cost you anything and it helps the channel out more than you know. But I hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.